forward, and we'll keep it very tight, take about 3 or 4 questions, okay?
First of all, thank you all for being here. Normally, this press event I would be accompanied by the High Representative, Cathy Ashton, but her flight is delayed, and we'll be going straight into the meeting when she arrives. This is the informal meeting of Foreign Affairs Ministers, which takes place every 6 months. I'm delighted to be hosting the meeting here in Dublin today and tomorrow. I've had the opportunity so far of welcoming 28 ministers or their deputies, 27 member states and Croatia, and will shortly be welcoming the High Representative when she arrives. On our agenda today is first of all the continuing crisis in Syria. As you know, this was discussed by the European Council recently, and the European Council has asked Foreign Affairs Ministers in the Foreign Affairs Council to give further consideration to the situation in Syria, and we will be doing that now immediately when the meeting gets underway. We will also be reviewing the External Action Service. It was agreed when the External Action Service, European External Action Service, was established that there would be a review of it in the middle of 2013. That review will commence here in our discussions this afternoon, and then tomorrow we will move on to the other items that are on the agenda for the Foreign Affairs Council. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. I think what we have to concentrate on is finding a political solution to the appalling situation in Syria. I think that the further militarisation of the environment in Syria would certainly not be helpful. The more guns that go into Syria, the more arms that get into Syria, the more casualties there will be. I think what we need to do is we need to continue the support for Dr. Brahimi, for the work that he is doing to bring about a political settlement of the situation in Syria. And I think what urgently needs to get into Syria is humanitarian aid, medical supplies, food. There has been a lot of difficulty in getting the humanitarian aid that the European Union and its member states have committed to supplying to Syria. A lot of difficulty in getting that into Syria, and that's where we need to put the emphasis now. Well, I think Irish people have a lot of sympathy for the situation in Cyprus, and certainly I do. I think that the people in Cyprus are facing a really difficult set of circumstances right now. I can identify with that because 2 years ago, when the government of which I'm a part and my party is a part, when we took office 2 years ago, we were facing a situation where our banks were in serious trouble. The country was running out of money, and we had to make some very difficult decisions and make them very quickly. And I remember the first month that new government was in office here, we had to make a lot of decisions in a very quick period of time. I think that the government in Cyprus and the parliament in Cyprus, they have decisions to make. I think, as I understand it, they are going to be considering that over the next couple of days. I wish them well in that. I believe that it is important that the rest of Europe stands in solidarity with Cyprus and with the people of Cyprus. The whole approach that we have taken to the financial and banking crisis in Europe has been one of countries staying together, working together, and helping each other out of the difficulties that we're in. And I hope that we will be able to continue to do that with Cyprus.
Okay, last one, just here.
Is there a possibility for a compromise between lifting the embargo or non-lifting the embargo? And in this case, what will happen by the end of May if there is no compromise?
Well, it's very difficult to anticipate the outcome of any set of discussions, and clearly during the course of today we will discuss the entire situation in Syria and what needs to be done. I can only give you what the view, my own view and the view of my government is of our attitude to the arms embargo. The Foreign Affairs Council decided to extend the sanctions regime up to the end of May, as you know. We did amend the embargo to allow for the delivery of non-lethal equipment to protect civilians and to minimise the impact of the slaughter and of the injuries which are being inflicted on civilians. Clearly there will be a further discussion on the issue today, and we will see where that leaves us at the end of the evening. Okay, thank you. Well, I can only give you, I can't give you an assessment until I hear the view of my colleagues, and we haven't started the meeting as of yet, but what I can say to you is that we discussed this issue very recently, and we made a decision as a Foreign Affairs Council to extend the sanctions regime up to the end of May and to vary the arms embargo to allow for the delivery of non-lethal equipment, flak jackets, helmets, materials which would be of a protective nature for civilians who are under fire. We're at the request of the European Council. We're discussing it again today, and we'll obviously see what member states have to say, but I can tell you that my view and the view of the Irish government is that the further militarisation of the situation in Syria would not be helpful. It is our view that it would lead to further casualties, that what we need to do is we need to support a political solution, a peaceful solution, and we need to ensure that the humanitarian aid that we have committed to providing to the people in Syria, that is delivered effectively and soon.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.